welcome back. Today is December 5th, so we are on day 5 of the Advent calendars. I have a little bit more in my little intro today than usual. I kind of snuck out of work early. It's been kind of a weirdly anxious few days. No real reasons why, though. In some ways, I do wonder if some of my Advent plans are giving me anxiety because I keep trying to be chill with it, but also I'm looking at this huge stack of yarn and wondering when I'm going to get time to work on it. But with some of that, I did catch up on my Advent socks. I wasn't really able to do a lot of filming while I was working on them. I know it's going to seem weird to see like the basket in the middle of the frame. That was intentional because my child was sitting next to me and I couldn't really get a view of me knitting without also having my small child in the frame. And while she is actually really cool with it, she's also 7. She just recently realized that when mommy has filming days, what mommy films goes onto YouTube. And that's really cool to her. But I mean, we never really talked about what I do when I film. It's just like, well, mommy films and talks about her yarn. And it's now that she realized, like, mom's on YouTube. It's somehow in her mind I'm like a celebrity, so of course she wants to be part of that. And it's like I'm very much not, honey. But we'll get right into these Advent calendars. So I'm starting with the big one at the bottom where I'm going to have to search for the number first, my Jenny box. So this is the Jenny box from Missouri Star. They're all different shaped packages, so I can't organize them quite as well as I'd like. Some of the other ones, I was able to organize them so that all of the other ones, they're organized so that I just reach in and grab the next one. But the only real way to do that with this one would be if I did not have it organized in a way that I could actually like store it. And I just realized I can see it right at the top. It's actually super easy to find. But I was starting to dig through looking for package number 4. Whereas box number 5 is right here staring at me. I would have been searching forever before realizing that I was looking for the wrong number. So I'd say that's really embarrassing, but technically I didn't have to share that. And I did anyway, so I embarrassed myself. Anyways, box number 5. Let's see what we have. This one seems to open from the side. I'm not sure if it matters which side I open it from. Okay, what in the world do I have? Okay, so these look a little strange. These are, I think they're like for holding quilts. So like you make a quilt and then you can mount it on the wall by having it so that it holds it tight there. I've got some that my mom gave me that like you kind of are supposed to be able to slide the quilt up in and then it stays, but they didn't quite work. These are very, very cute, and they might be fun for being able to like hang them on the wall for a quick like picture of something. So I'm not sure exactly when I will use these or where I will put them, but that's a very cool thing to have. So the next one I have is from Ruby and Roses, and day 5, not day 4. It's a little easier on this one because it's the punch-in boxes, so I can see day 4 has already been done. Day 5 is the color Hearth or Hearth. I mean, I know it's like meaning the fireplace, but I just realized I think it's more hearth than hearth. I will say these perforated boxes are not tearing neatly, so it's a good thing I'm not planning necessarily to reuse this box for anything. That is a very pretty color. I like that you can see all the like tiny little bits of other, like the speckles, just little spots of other colors. That is gorgeous. All right, my next one is my Haunted Holidays box from Fangirl Fibers. It came with this book, Spooky Christmas. I was starting to read it and then I just didn't like it. I felt like the stories were way too short for like, I think they needed to be longer in order to have actual details and be enjoyable. But I was kind of wondering, it's got 25 stories and there's 25 yarns. So I did kind of wonder if these were the inspiration for the colors. And we might get a clue to that if day 5 has any blue and yellow, maybe. Because the 5th story in it was about a Christmas quilt that was, I think it said blue and yellow. But we shall see. All right, so it is a green. So I'm guessing they're not inspired by the book. Yeah, the book was, I think rather than doing 25, like 2 to 3 page stories, they should have picked 10 of these ghost stories and just made them good instead of putting not, oh, darn it. Hopefully that's still working. Sorry. Instead of putting not as many details into more stories, they should have really made a few good stories. All right, so the next one I have here is from A Chick That Knits. And this one is themed dark and dreamy. So day 5 is Dreamer's Heart. Day 5. And these ones all came already organized in the box, which was very, very nice. Some of them I did have to reorganize, but most of them actually came decently organized. Ooh, very, very pretty. And I am just so happy I got the sparkle base. There's a small part of me that's wishing every single one of my Advents was sparkle base. But if all of them were, I'd probably be a little bit sad at one point where it's like, how come they're all sparkle? Why don't I have one that's not? And as I don't know what I'm doing with any of these for sure yet, I'll probably be happy later. I am thinking, I have been watching a lot of people's Vlogmases, and darn thing. I am really sorry. This microphone has not been great. I have been watching a lot of people's Vlogmases, and some of the things that people are working on, I'm like, no thanks. But there's quite a few people who I've seen working on the Yorkshire Granny Square blanket, and I'm liking the squares they're doing so far. So that is one I may get and do for one of my Advent calendars. I was also considering an anthology throw is the blanket I was trying to remember the other day, because that's what I thought of last year and just never got around to following up and doing anything with. Another one I was highly considering was a quadrophenia. I kind of thought about some clothes with some of them, but I'm trying to make sure it's something I'll actually wear, because I have been working on a sporty shrug. It's the second time I've made the pattern, and I do enjoy it. It's very comfortable, but it's also like a lot of ribbing. But there's a part of me that's like, yeah, but if I do one of my solid, like the main skeins for the front and the back, and then do striped sleeves, it'd be so cute. And I think it would be, but I'm not sure I'd wear it. So I'm trying to be very careful with any clothing I think about, because I want to make sure I put all this work into something I'd wear. On that one, the next one I have is from Maple and Barley, and this one is my 12-day Zodiac themed one. And this one is the only one I actually do have a plan for. My plan from the beginning has been to do a pair of socks, because I think the 12 stripes will be, there'll be a tall pair of socks if I do 10 rows per stripe. I really blanked out on that one, but not like an unmanageable tall. So day 5 is Leo. Leo is the lion. So I have not been very good at figuring out what any colors will be based on the color name this time around. So I have no idea. Okay, a good gold. Because see, that was my thought, like yellow or brown, but it was like, every time I guess I'm wrong. So yeah, this one is only 12 days. I probably could have done it every other day with this one, but I'm in a rhythm. I'm just going with it. So I only have 2 more left. This one is from So Happy Jane, A Grand Adventure. I was going to just go ahead and do like all of the yarns and then do the extras afterwards, but that was mostly just because I figured that the dyer would be revealing them on her Instagram like she has the last few years, and I didn't want the colors spoiled. But I actually haven't seen any from her, so I am going to save day 5 of the yarn for next time, and I am going to open one of these extras. And I think I'm going to actually get a little bit picky with it, and I'm going to pick one that has this, because it says a sweet companion to hang from a tree or your windshield. Sprinkle me with essential oils and I'll freshen your space while I'm busy looking cute. So it's one of those where it's like, all right, I will open this one with a little wintry scene on it and see what, or I guess who is inside. Oh, this is adorable. Little ice skates. In one of her monthly boxes, there is, oh, I don't have it within reach here, but I did get another little mouse that was very similar to this. So I'm going to have to put them somewhere together. I didn't even think of like the putting essential oils on the felt, but I mean, it sounds like it could basically be a car freshener with that, but very, very cute. I like her. Maybe I'll take her to work, and she can be my friend there. All right, so I have one more advent calendar. And this is Wonderful Wool. So this has been my universe themed one. And each day we have something and then a fact. So this is Neptune. Neptune has a very thin collection of rings and an active climate. It is the most distant and coldest planet in the solar system. Ooh, that is very pretty. You know, the funny thing is it does actually remind me of my high school colors, because our colors were purple and gold. And of course, like, they can't do like shiny gold. So it's always more of like a deep yellow. So that's kind of funny to me that it happens to be my high school colors. So you can tell high school graduation was a little while ago. So I'm not really thinking I need something with my high school colors, but it's all going to go into something by itself. So this is part of why I kind of wanted to see what everything is, because each of these the colors are so surprising. I don't know what I want them to be. I realized I left this out of reach. So I have been getting a lot of inspiration from other people doing Vlogmas and such. And I wanted to, share a few of the people who I have been watching. And I have been watching Nitty Natty. I'm a little sad Crazy Sock Lady is not doing it this year, but I can absolutely understand why somebody would not want to film and edit every single day. I knew it would be a lot of work when I decided to do it, but here we are. So I've been watching Nitty Natty or Love and Stitches. My Pink Bathtub is one that I am enjoying as well. Sock Witchery, she's one I watched last year. This year I did Google Vlogmas and just started looking for some new people, because I mean, I live in Idaho, which is in America, so the last month all of my feeds have been just full of political stuff, and I can't anymore. So I was actively looking for other people to watch and trying to fill it up with things that were just happy or mindless or something. I was watching some Lofty Loops on her Vlogmas today. Jen Likes Yarn is one I found. I was very jealous when I saw she had a Muppet Christmas Carol themed Advent, and I definitely did look to see if I could still get it, and I was not able to. I was not shocked by that information, but a little disappointed. I have been also watching The Playful Knitter, like Googling down through to see everybody who I've watched. I've watched a couple of A Lovely Yarn and The Little Wolf Knits. I am kind of in that where like some I'm able to keep up daily, but I do have a full-time job and doing this as well. So some of them I'm going to more of catch up over the weekend. So those are the ones that I have been watching consistently or planning to keep watching. There's a few others who I've watched a little bit of and either decided maybe they're not for me or had kind of a maybe I'll watch another one or two of yours and then decide if I'm going to keep watching. Usually a lot of the people on day zero, like if I felt like, I like your advents or I like your projects or even just you amused me in the way you talked. Um, if there was someone who was like, I'm enjoying this to any level, because there's some people who you want to watch because they're funny, some people because they're projects, some people because in some ways they're kind of soothing to you. So it's like, if I'm not quite sure what category you're in, I'm going to watch you a little bit and see if you're filling one of those needs. So that's all I have for today. I'm rambling on and I'm going to have to listen to this all back to edit. So if I keep rambling, I'm just torturing myself. So I will see you again tomorrow with the rest of my advents. And as I keep opening them, I may on Saturday kind of do the first 7 days, lay it out and start getting kind of an idea of what I may want to turn some of these into. Because looking at each of the patterns, it's like, well, if I do that, I want a solid, like I want a tonal, I don't want speckles. If I do that, it's fine to have a whole bunch of different colors. And trying to figure out what would work for each individual one. And I mean, like some of them have darker colors, so I want something that fits that vibe. I know I don't have to pick a project for all of them right away. I'm definitely not going to be working all of them right away, but I feel like it might feel a little less overwhelming to have so many of them if I start planning for some of them, even if nothing is cast on until after everything is completely opened. So that's all I have. I already said that and then I rambled on. I will see you all again tomorrow.